Good evening, everybody. I'm AlphaStarDX. This is the Alpha Stream, and tonight we are going to travel even further through Alpha Time. Back with me is Chibi Sprite
Hi.
for part 3 of The Great Chase Through Time, starring, of course, Carmen Sandiego. Where we last left off, we needed a different disc.
Oops.
Well, we knew we were going to have to remount it when it prompted.
Is there a problem? I thought we just tested this.
Well, it probably can't read more than one CD drive. There's a simple solution to that.
Oops.
Or maybe not quite as simple as I thought.
Oh. Yes, the invisible screensaver.
Yes, the invisible maze. Enjoy that for a minute, folks. There may have been a slight flaw in my logic here. Oh, you know what? Plan B. I can disconnect the drive.
You did put, like, disc 1 on the first one, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
That's how... I need disc 1 to start the game.
I don't want to tell... I don't even remember, but I'm pretty sure at least once when I was playing this as a kid, I may have forgotten that I had to put in disc 1 before disc 2.
Okay, that's ejected.
Alright, let's try again.
Yeah, maybe that just didn't work as well as I thought. Okay, let's try that again. Did you dismount?
Did it?
It might have.
Oh.
Let me check the amount again. Something's weird. Yeah, that somehow got dismounted.
Oh.
Don't know how, because
very weird.
I didn't do that. Now, I don't want auto detection. Actually, maybe I do. Maybe I just need to keep Daemon up until I've actually gotten to disc 2.
Possibly.
Okay. This may take a second.
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. In time, it's Carmen Sandiego.
Okay, let's try this again. Alright. Oh, I think I see what happened. You know that thing where computers like to auto-pop CD drives when they're asking for a different disc?
Yep.
That's probably what was simulated here.
Oh, well,
So,
yeah, that would do it.
so if I mount CD2 to drive F, which is the auto-detected mount on 98 here, then this should work.
You're heading for the height of Europe's Renaissance, Florence, Italy in 1505. But where there should be a masterpiece, there's just a lot of moping. See if you can cheer things up. I
Oh.
wouldn't think of sending you to the Renaissance without Renaissance. Great painter and good guide. Good luck, and remember to keep your detective work in perspective.
Hey there, hipster. Where are we now, you ask? Let's see. Italy, 1505. Yes, it's a Renaissance, all right. That fellow over there is Leonardo da Vinci, my artistic idol. I wonder why he stopped painting.
Mona, how about the smile, eh? A little one. What good's my picture going to be without a smile? The smile's supposed to be the best part.
What is a smiling? What is a laughter? What is a happiness when a thief can march right in here and take advantage of the trust of a genius? I am not amused. Not amused at all.
Well, first things first, the C note.
That C note means we're right on track.
They love the arts in Florence Fair, and for such things we thieves do care.
Oh, good.
I think it's gonna be a couple hundred years before this invention gets off the ground.
Are we reinstating the drinking game?
No, I don't think so. I think they had enough.
Looks like one more toothed wheel is all we need to make all the wheels turn.
Another gear. All of a sudden, this is Gizmos and Gadgets.
What?
Which, by the way, I started.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, there's an episode up now on YouTube.
I will have to check it out.
This is outside my area of expertise, but it looks to me like we're gonna need a cam wheel to move that piston rod up and down.
He pissed in what?
Larger spring is the best choice.
Well, mine spring's pretty good.
Use a medium cam. Use the smallest gear wheel.
Small wheels, big spring.
Yep.
The comedian machine makes this figure do silly things. Looks like it's resting from jesting, though. That's Da Vinci's handwriting on the tile. Talk about setting your words down in stone. I suspect Leonardo would write anywhere. Even that tile contains some strange words.
Maybe he labeled
Brush and music are strange words. Okay.
Maybe he labeled his own testicles.
Really?
In experimentation with writing.
Ah, I see you're admiring my hometown of Florence, Italy. Magnificent, no? The wealthiest families in Florence, like the de Medicis, have helped the arts to flourish here.
Cool.
What's wrong with this picture? I think it's missing a little something. A famous, enigmatic smile, perhaps?
So I do believe this is the first time we can talk to two different people on the very first scene.
Yeah.
Who do we talk to? Oh, hey, let's touch the bottom.
We're gonna have to put a little bounce into this. I think a spring would do the trick, Slick.
I think that does know everything. So yeah, do we talk to the model or do we talk to the painter?
You tell me, I'm not the expert.
Ladies first?
Hey, if anybody's in chat, let's hear from you.
I am not amused.
Well, how about a joke? How many vile villains does it take to screw in a light bulb?
What's a light bulb?
Never mind.
Ouch.
How is Well, that's non-translatable comedy.
Yeah.
Hello, I hope you haven't come to steal anything, because someone has beat you to it.
Oh, what's the matter?
I can't get my model to smile. Without that lovely smile, there's no painting.
Why don't you offer to fuck the model?
Did you tell a joke?
I'm afraid I'm no good at telling jokes. I can paint, sculpt, design, and invent, but jokes have always eluded me. I'm a very serious man, you see.
A very serious man with very serious problems. So, why won't she smile?
I usually hire some amusing jesters, and the smiles last all day. But this morning, a strange night fellow came in and offered to build me a jesting machine, using my own spare parts. I love a clever machine, so I accepted.
Does it work?
It worked at first, but then there was a commotion, and the jesting just quit. The knight had vanished with my notebooks and damaged his machine during the escape. Now the jesting machine is useless, and Mona isn't smiling.
Can we take a look at your parts there?
That would be most kind of you, as I'm very busy painting. The sketches on the back wall should help, and there are plenty of spare parts in the other room.
Okay. What's those sketches, by the way?
The ones we just read?
Those
Yeah, those
schematics are all that remain of my stolen notebooks. The thief used them to build his jesting machine.
You like inventions, huh? Kind of a stretch from painting, don't you think?
I am a painter and a sculptor, but I'm also an inventor. I have a deep interest in mechanics. I have a theory that the mechanical flight is actually possible. Do you think that's strange?
You like mechanics? Interesting.
And you've invented, well, not that jesting machine, so what?
Well, I don't like to brag, but a flying machine, an armored vehicle, rapid-fire crossbows, paddleboats, bicycles, and the list goes on. Of course, these were never actually built, but they do look splendid on paper.
So...
It's going to be
that's-
expected from an artist. So why do you think painting is so important?
I believe that painting is actually a science, and I intend to prove it in my upcoming treatise. A scientific use of painting can help describe the complex and wonderful properties by which we see the world.
That's already been done thanks to Galileo, but that's another story.
Scientific abilities?
Painters, like scientists, possess a knack for observation and the ability to translate these observations onto canvas. Painters are indeed intelligent people. Cranky, but intelligent.
So how do you decide what you're going to paint?
I generally get commissions. A commission is a
Ah.
project that someone asks for and pays me to do. I've done commissions for the Medici family and even a few popes.
Okay.
Commissions. That's the first modern term I think we've heard all game. People still do that.
Yeah.
Ciao!
Check this room. It's laid out in perspective. Perspective is an art trick allowing the representation of three-dimensional space on a flat surface. It should help us distinguish between the different sized parts in this room. I suspect Leonardo would write anywhere. Even that tile contains some strange words. That's Da Vinci's handwriting on the tile. Talk about setting your words down in stone. I suspect Leonardo would write anywhere. Even that tile contains some strange words.
So, we need the biggest spring, which I'd say is this one here.
This might work. Let's try it out. Try using the spare part on a section of the jesting machine. If it fits, that jester will soon be jumping for joy. Bingo! That's the right spring. Things will really be bouncing now.
Not just
Okay.
yet. And the smallest gear.
This might
Yeah.
work. Let's try it out. Try using the spare part on a section of the jesting machine.
Ah, it's
If it
huge.
fits,
But okay.
that jester will soon be jumping for joy. Nope, I don't think
Nope.
that part goes there. Try it on another area of the machine. That's nearly right, but this wheel has a real overbite. We'll need a smaller one. All right, let's put this part back in the parts room.
Oh, you know what? Probably this one.
Yeah.
Because perspective.
This one looks good. Try using the spare part on a section of the jesting machine. If it fits, that jester will soon be jumping for joy. Now that's what I call setting the...
And with Mona modeling, I might get some work of my own done. Perfecto!
Dude.
That's just the smile I want to see. Mysterious, enigmatic, marvelous. My painting is finally finished, and it's a masterpiece, if I do say so myself. Mona, come with me. We're going to paint the town red.
Well, that was...
Whoa! That machine must have been the work of a vile villain, since no one in this age made a machine that could really fly. That makes Carmen note number 3. Now for the hard part, figuring out her cunning little word games.
They love the arts in Florence fair, and for such things we thieves do care. Your task today, my clever Kirk, will be to snatch Da Vinci's book, while others fret about a smile, hide just beneath a lute-drawn tile, inscribed in Leo's writing style.
A lute-drawn tile?
Lute is in quotes.
Yeah, I see that.
So...
Now that the C note's complete, we can
Ah.
activate the time cups.
Well, this guy's a real fucking tool, isn't he?
That's the one. The Chronopedia mentioned that Leonardo always used mirror writing, meaning he liked to write
Oh!
backwards. So he spin the tool on the tile.
See, I knew that
End
about
up with
Leonardo
the
da
loop.
Vinci. That helped immediately.
I did not.
Right on. This is one knight whose quest is
Good
over.
night, Servile.
Leonardo Servile for the second time.
No?
I got it.
Back to Acme Jail for you, Servile. Perhaps we'll put that plate armor of yours to good use this time as license plates.
Fie, I am recaptured. But do not gloat, ye Acme rogues. Lady Carmen still roams free.
Well done, Detective. You subdued Servile again, got the machinery in order, and helped Leonardo get a chuckle out of Mona Lisa. Thanks to you, art and science of the Renaissance will keep coming together in wild new ways.
That was a very easy
Excellent
case.
work, as usual.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, you are quite a worthy opponent. But in the end, I'll outsmart you. I've got much grander plans underway.
Sure, Carmen.
Sounds like another time crime is already in the works. Can you move on to another case right now?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Your next stop in time is the 16th century, in the heart of Central America. The century's most important Aztec ceremony should be starting right about now. But instead of worshiping, there's just a lot of worrying. Better see what's shaking. Here comes your good guide for this trip. Antiquity. No one knows ancient empires like Anne, so you're in good hands. Good luck and good searching.
Time traveling has gotta be my favorite pastime. Okay, Crime Stopper. The year is 1519, and we're in Tenochtitlan, the capital of the Aztec Empire in Central America. Looks like Montezuma, ruler of the empire, is right over there.
Oh, please excuse my casual appearance. My formal feather headdress is gone.
Looks like Carmen's time crook has been at work. Let's find out more.
I did a game on this not too long ago.
Oh?
You might have seen an episode entitled Paganitsu,
Oh, yes.
which turned out to be my first alpha play, even though it wasn't actually intended to be that. But yeah, that was set right around this time, or at least the underlying story was set in 1521.
Ah.
So right at the height of the empire.
That big stone is covered in symbols representing myths and rituals of Aztec life. It's called the calendar stone. Imagine hanging that on the refrigerator.
Refrigerators don't exist yet.
That book is called a codex. It's a collection of symbols written on deerskin or tree bark. The Aztecs borrowed this writing style from a neighboring culture, as they had no writing system of their own. Those cocoa beans are as good as gold. Really. The Aztecs used them as money, and also to make hot chocolate. Now that's putting your money where your mouth is.
Looks like we could pick them up.
Let's not yet, until we talk to him.
That is one of my royal bird whistles.
Hey, yo!
Ah, my prize pet snakes. We Aztecs fear snakes a little, but we also worship them. A winged serpent is the symbol of my people.
Do they fly?
I don't
That's
think
part
so.
of Carmen's note.
Shame.
Our thief obviously slithered through recently.
Now the headdress go full throttle. I'll soon return like Quetzalcoatl.
It's too bad. People aren't drinking this time. Or maybe they are, but we're not, like, mandating it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk to the Emperor. See what he has to say.
Yeah, I think that's all
my
you
friends.
left.
If that headdress doesn't turn up soon, heads are going to roll.
Well, first of all,
Who are you?
I am Montezuma, ruler of the mighty Aztecs. All the land around bows under my dominion.
uh-huh. So, what the hell are you doing?
I'm preparing for an important event, the Aztec fire ceremony.
Fire ceremony?
Once
Sounds
every
fun.
52 years, our solar calendar and our ceremonial calendar line up. Tonight is that night. If I don't perform the proper rituals while wearing my special headdress, the sun will burn out.
I think somebody was pulling your leg there. So, where are we?
You are in the island city of Tenochtitlan. From here, I rule the Aztec Empire and all its riches.
Really?
Sounds like fun. Oh, right. There's more to that. Any other places we can visit?
You should visit our great outdoor market. There, you'll find whatever your heart desires. We Aztecs make no sacrifices. At least, not in the marketplace.
Puns!
What do people trade in the marketplace?
You can buy cocoa beans, fur, feathers, gold. It's one-stop shopping.
I like that. I do not like shopping. If I have to shop... Huh?
Sorry. I got distracted by my phone game. It said to use black magic. I used black magic, but it said I didn't use black magic, which makes no sense.
Huh. Holy shit, you know what I just realized?
Hmm?
There's nothing showing up on OBS.
Yeah, I was gonna wonder about that. And I can't go back.
Fuck. Oh, hi, everybody. Now that we've turned on the lights.
Oops.
Fuck.
You didn't miss much.
They missed a lot. They missed a case.
Yeah, but it was a quick case.
Well, we're gonna keep it because posterity.
If you do want us to retake it, just let us know. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep on going forward.
No, can we retake a case?
After, I think.
Okay,
Or we might have to load up to that point.
because I was gonna say I am not starting up another game just to get to that case.
If I remember correctly, we might actually revisit that during the final case.
Really?
Possibly.
Is this gonna be like a full chase through everything we've done?
I think so.
All right. Well, I'll put a note in the description about my own idiocy. Like somewhere in the 25-minute mark, I realized the lights had been off all this time. That's what I get for hiding my fucking windows in OBS.
Yeah.
Oh well. So you look unhappy.
A thief heisted my royal headdress and headed out of here. If I don't get it back, I can perform the rituals tonight properly, and the world will come to an end.
No, it won't.
I can believe. Can't you make another one?
I could make another headdress, but the feather worker who makes my feather clothes has flown the coop. It's always hard to find good help.
But it's really good to find hard help, right?
Well, can we help, I guess?
Yes. Go to the feather worker's place, see what materials are there, then find whatever else you need to make some headway on my headwear.
This is beginning to sound like a really heady issue.
Heady or heady?
Same thing. What's that pot you got on the ground?
Those pots
I want the pot.
contain cocoa beans, which we Aztecs use to make our favorite drink. Hot chocolate. We love cocoa beans so much that we use them like money.
Okay, so which of us is going to stoop down to that level?
Let me finish eating my candy.
Speaking of sweet.
Yeah, because it's chocolate.
Funny, I'm usually the one eating candy at this point.
Yeah, no, I took over.
Yes, you did. I ran out. Finally.
I actually bought some, finally.
Oh, cool.
Do you have sweet plans for that pot?
Nothing special. You are welcome to take them.
We can take the pot?
Woo!
Farewell.
What a mess! Some scatterbrain left things scattered all over the place.
Well, that looks pretty simple.
It just looks like a jigsaw.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like a couple pieces are missing here.
Well, let's see what we can do so far.
Alright. Is this what we call getting jiggy with it? It's a jigsaw puzzle, people. Ha fucking ha.
Don't forget the balls!
Huh?
I said don't forget the balls!
What are you insinuating I do with the balls?
I don't know.
Do you want me to grab the balls? Do you want me to touch the balls? What do you want me to do here?
Grab the balls?
Want me to grab the balls? Okay. What should I do with the balls now that I got them in my hand?
Put them in the headdress?
That gold nugget seems out of place there. That gold nugget seems out of place there.
What does it
The
matter?
Aztecs had plenty of gold nuggets like this one. Unfortunately, a surplus of gold can bring unwanted attention. The gold-hungry Spanish, under Cortez, will arrive in Aztec lands in just a few more months. That gold nugget seems out
Try
of
it on the
place
other
there.
side?
That gold nugget seems out of place there. That gold nugget seems out of place there.
There we go. Oh, fine.
That
Looks like
wooden
I'm missing
frame
some
looks
pieces.
perfect for assembling Montezuma's headdress.
Yeah, we've got a problem here.
We're off to the marketplace. Quetzal feathers were powerful symbols of Aztec culture. Their most important god, Quetzalcoatl, appeared as a serpent with wings of quetzal feathers. The Aztecs ate a wide variety of foods, but their main course was always maize.
Amazing.
Those terraced steps give that temple a classic Aztec look.
I guess talk to the merchant?
This is a one-stop shop?
Yep.
This hardly looks like anything.
Good afternoon. Perhaps a trade for you today?
May we
Who
ask...
are you?
I am Ictomato, the best trader in this great marketplace of Tenochtitlan.
So who comes here to trade?
Why, everyone comes to the Tenochtitlan market. It's the place to be. Traders arrive daily from the farthest corners of the Aztec Empire.
Why you keep saying tit?
Are those yours?
Ah, you obviously have good taste if you're admiring my goods. I'm always looking for a sweet trade.
There's nothing there to admire. We'd hardly call them size A's in my century.
Oh my goodness.
So what do you have to offer? Because you obviously don't have any...
I have delicious maize grown right here in Tenochtitlan and gorgeous green quetzal feathers. Anything tickle your fancy?
What do you want in exchange?
Cocoa beans are the magic item around here. I'll trade for them anytime. They're quite valuable and delicious too.
I don't know that you should be eating those straight. But why the ears of
I thought
corn?
we were... Oh, okay.
Huh?
Yeah, why are ears of corn? I was gonna say, I thought we're missing blue feathers, not
You
green.
mean my maize? Maize is our most important food. It is grown on chinampas.
Chinampas?
What?
Chinampas are man-made islands. We Aztecs use them because the moist soil is good for growing maize.
Why are you sitting so close to it?
I need to keep a close eye on that maize, or hungry birds will eat it right up.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. What would you like to trade for?
Well, we need feathers.
Those feathers make a fine choice.
We got the feathers.
Bye. Come back soon.
Nope, bad fit. Nope, bad fit.
Oh, don't tell
I
me.
think you picked up the wrong size.
I hope we can trade.
We're off to the marketplace.
Excellent. What would you like to trade for? Those feathers make a fine choice. Bye. Come back soon.
Nope, bad fit. Nope, bad fit. We're off to the marketplace.
Excellent. What would you like to trade for? Those feathers make a fine choice. Bye. Come back
Try
soon.
that one. That one looks right.
God.
Yay! So we need a blue one.
We're off to the marketplace. A Carmen note. You really can find everything in this marketplace.
And keep in mind these special birds, a hiding place that's for the birds.
Sounds like we might have a nested interest in this guy.
Bye. Come back soon.
Back to the palace.
Goodbye.
Bird!
That Katinga feather is a prized possession, used exclusively in royal Aztec garments. It's time to de-quill that bill. What beautiful feathers. That bird certainly grooms its plumes. Parrots live in the jungles and forests of Central America. That Quetzal bird sports shining feathers, which the Aztecs adored and collected. The Aztecs were excellent weavers, using feathers, beads, and other items to decorate objects. Looks like every bird here has its own cloak to sit on. The wing feathers of an owl are so soft that the bird makes no noise while flying. Eerie. Have you ever heard a macaw caw? They're quite loud. The eagle became one of the central symbols of Aztec culture. Legend has it the sight of an eagle carrying a snake inspired the founding of Tenochtitlan.
Okay.
Fascinating
I
story.
think we need some maize.
All right, back to the palace.
Farewell.
We're off to the marketplace.
Excellent. What would you like to trade for? Good selection. That maize is very fresh and tasty.
We don't have it. Oh,
Come
there we
back
go.
soon.
Back to the palace.
Goodbye.
That won't work. The maize will scatter before the birds can eat it. Okay, we fed some feed into the feeder. What beautiful feathers. That bird certainly grooms its plumes. This must be where the birds eat when they're hungry. If we're not careful, we'll get stuck with a bill. That
Honey.
Katinga feather is a prized possession, used exclusively in royal Aztec garments. It's time to de-quill that bill.
The whistles, the bird whistles.
All right, back to the palace.
Guess there's only one way to find
You're
out.
welcome to borrow that bird whistle, but you'll have to put it back if you want to borrow another. Goodbye.
Talk about whistling while you work. That bird can't blow a bird whistle. Let me try instead.
Didn't you try that?
He likes my whistling,
Nope.
I guess.
That wasn't
All
right.
right, back to the palace.
Goodbye.
The
Whoa,
eagle, really?
For a big bird, that eagle has a pretty small call. All right, back to the palace.
Here's our exercise in trial and error.
Goodbye.
A hoot for a toot. Seems fair. All right, back to the
okay.
palace.
One
Talk
of these
about whistling
whistles
while you work.
has to be it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There it is.
Good thinking. The blue Katinga had to drop that feather before it could munch up any maize. All right, back to the palace.
Farewell.
Well placed, Detective. That feather headdress looks perfect. It's just what Montezuma needs to start the Aztec fire ceremony.
Should we go back and tell him now? Or oh, there we go.
Back to the palace.
Note!
Oh.
Great balls of fire! Don't leave with that headdress. I need it for the fire ceremony.
That's okay. We can just walk back and grab it, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
You have my eternal thanks.
I mean, we can't activate
With
cuffs
this
without
royal
it, so.
headdress waving on my head, I'll have the world fluttering at my feet. Time to start the ceremony.
Okay then.
Good work. You've got the final piece of the Carmen note.
Okay, what do we got there, Chibi?
Now the headdress go full throttle, I'll soon return like Quetzalcoatl. And keep in mind these special words, a hiding place that's for the birds. Wait for me when thieving's done beneath Aztec symbol for the sun.
I'll activate the handcuffs so
Sun.
we can put that pickpocket in the pen.
I hope it's not right there. That would be very simple. Sacred calendar.
The eagle.
Eagle. Okay.
Back to the palace. That crook must be hiding in a different nook.
Oh, the cloak.
Under there.
Of course. The eagle is the Aztec symbol for the sun. So it's time to go supernova on a thief. We've squashed Bug Zapper flat for the second time. All right, Bugs, it's back to Acme headquarters for you. They'll need to break out the bug repellent.
All right, you's got the zap on me, but you'll never catch the buzz about Carmen's real plan.
Yes! Bugs Zapper is behind bars again. Montezuma is under a new headdress, and the Aztecs have another day in the sun, all because of you, Detective. Congratulations! You've enabled the Aztec culture to fully spread its wings and have a permanent influence on Mexican history and culture. Good going. But it looks like there's fresh villainy ahead. Can you take another case right now?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're blasting through the past to the end of the 16th century, where a big batch of Shakespeare's plays are missing. The show must go on, Detective, so see what you can do. You need a good guide who knows the footlights, so Renaissance is coming along to help you. Good luck, Time Detective. Or should I say, break a leg.
There's one good thing about traveling with the Chronoskimmer. We always arrive everywhere right on time. We've arrived in London, England, near the Thames River. The year is 1599. And look, over there, the famous Globe Theatre is being rebuilt. There's Queen Elizabeth surveying the construction.
Those players move so slowly I may never see my play. You'd think they were building the entire world rather than just the globe.
I still want to say it, but Solar's not here.
Say what?
We're watching Elizabethan porn.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, man. Just grab the note.
Congratulations, Detective. That's a Carmen note.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll read them all when we have all three pieces. How's that?
Yeah, probably best.
The Thames is often chock full of vessels. This era was a real golden age of ships in England.
Indeed. England's new naval power has made us a great nation. More ships mean more commerce, more wealth, and more power. I do love being queen.
I didn't know a country could have such a powerful belly button.
Oh, man.
Even here in 1599, London is a bustling city. It's the capital of England. That's London Bridge, and no, it's not falling down, but all those heavy buildings on top did threaten to topple the bridge. So a law was eventually passed outlawing houses on bridges.
It's a shame that it needed a law for that to happen.
Yeah.
Oy.
Sky?
England is famous for its poetry and its royalty, but not its good weather. Let's solve this case before it starts to rain.
Posh. I've seen the sun at least twice this week. 'Tis wonderful weather.
Posh? Is that some kind of fancy talk for bullshit?
That's the Globe, the most famous theater in London. There, many of Shakespeare's finest plays were performed.
Those players move so slowly I may never see my play. You'd think they were building the entire world rather than just the globe.
Didn't you know? All the world's a stage.
Good day, gentlefolk. Just look at that building. By my crown, it has more holes in it than my father, King Henry VIII, had wives.
And you are?
You may indeed, and I shall reply that I am none other than Queen Elizabeth of England, ruler of all Britain.
You didn't like your father too much, did you?
It's not. What's it like here in England?
England is an island fit for a queen. Our crowning achievement is the theatre. The world's best playwrights and plays are blooming right here in London.
Why are you so interested in the theater?
Oh, all the world's a stage.
Uh-huh. See?
And our English theatres are among the best in the world. My favorite playwright is William Shakespeare, as fine a poet as ever penned a play.
So that unfinished building across the river is what?
That's the Globe Theatre. The actors moved it across the Thames and are rebuilding it. And I fear their delay may impede tonight's play to be performed in my honor.
And why isn't it rebuilt? Why was it moved in the first place?
That's a good question.
William says they're too busy to build. He muttered something about a theft, and all the actors now needing to relearn their lines.
So, when will Will get his act together and finish the Globe?
I wish I knew. You may take my royal boat across the Thames and get those actors to work.
By the way, do you enjoy being the queen?
Oh, I do indeed. But I have never found a husband worthy to share my throne, so I have never married. It's lonely at the top.
So how many centimeters would it take for him to be worthy? Yes. Yes, Chibi, use your words.
I'm gonna ignore him, and I'm just gonna go on with the question, which is, what has you achieved as queen?
I've encouraged exploration of the New World and defeated the Spanish Armada. This is truly a golden age for England.
Well, sure, you got rid of the guys who want the gold. Let's take a swim, shall we?
Time for some globe-trotting at the Globe. Just look at this Globe Theater. Swiss cheese doesn't have as many holes. We can see William Shakespeare right through this wall.
Oh, how much longer shall I endure the slings and arrows of this outrageous fortune? The Globe is still not done, and you, Burbage, you must learn your lines. Let's rehearse again.
To beans or not to beans? That is indigestion.
You're killing me, Burbage. It's to be or not to be. Try again.
It looks like Shakespeare's players are still rehearsing. Let's head
That was
inside.
lovely.
I'm sorry, that's
We have
great.
an audience. Hey, you, grab a poster and let us know what rehearsal you want to hear next.
This placard holds the play of the day. It only needs a poster to fill the bill. Shakespeare wasn't exactly a starving artist. Crowds paid to enter the Globe and see his popular plays. Imagine how much he would have earned in Hollywood.
Our theater is unusual, for we actors own the globe, rather than some landlord. We are a collective, and we collect quite a profit. Great Caesar's ghost! Who let that foolish dog back inside? Out! Out, dumb spot!
That's not very nice, man. Come on.
But it is a line from one of the plays.
Yes.
A Midsummer Night's Dream is my favorite comedy, full of lovers and mischievous elves. It's a classic fairy tale.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear.
Slumbered is right. Your acting doth tire me, Burbage. Take a more constructive approach. Over on that wall.
Hey, where did Burbage run off to with that wall section? Let's tail him, detective.
I'm an actor, not a weightlifter. I must protect my delicate hands.
Nope. Think but this and all is mended. Okay, that you have but slumbered here.
Excellent. We've filled the breach. A finished wall is coming into reach.
Note!
Someone dropped a line. A line of crime, that is. That's a Carmen note.
I guess that's better than drawing lines.
True. Let's read everything else.
You know what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah. It is the East and Juliet. One extra wheel thanks to fine scene. Fire burning cauldron bubble. Double toil and trouble. Although.
Yeah, so.
Opening in the wall needs a well-versed villain.
You have my thanks for helping with the wall. A void in my life has been filled. Okay, let's take it from the bottom. I mean, the top.
If we shadows have
we did that one already.
Think but this, and all is mended.
I'm just curious what'll
that you
happen.
have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear.
Absolutely nothing.
You've a keen eye for literature, detective. That's the final piece of the Carmen note.
For serious?
Okay, that was fast.
Didn't even
When
see
you hear the drama's call, make your entrance at the stage. As players work upon their wall, you'll snatch the greatest plays of the age. Once you have them, quick retire to that which set the globe on fire.
With a completed C note in hand, I'll power up the time cup.
Still have a little bit to go.
As You Like It is a most excellent comedy. A tale of love set in a wood where the players cannot see the forest for the trees.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
And the more parts, the better. So now, act like a builder and get back to that wall.
Well, this wall is practically finished. My sweat is better spent back on stage.
All the road to stage.
There it
And all
is.
the men and women's merely players.
Well done. I'll be Elizabethan graffiti. Looks like someone doesn't care much for the Chamberlain's men.
Oh, so funny story. In college, when I took my Shakespeare class, my professor was obsessed with Shakespeare. Like, obsessed.
It sounds like the best person to teach such a class.
Well, he said if he's ever a supervillain, he's gonna name himself the Chamberlain. That way he can have all of his, underlings be called the Chamberlain's men.
Does the Chamberlain smoke chamber pot?
I don't know about that.
You know what a chamber pot is?
Yes, I do.
There's a joke in here somewhere.
There's a joke, but
Spin on the globe. Our play might even start on time. Macbeth, who killed his Scottish king but could not see trouble brewing. Double, double,
Double,
toil
double,
and
toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble. And I forget the rest of the line, but that is the...
In the
Oh.
cauldron boil and bake, eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog.
Burbage, perhaps you should stew over your lines while you work on that wall.
Oh, I'm much too talented for this tedious work, ta-ta.
Bravo!
Well
Almost
done.
done.
With the globe complete, our sphere of influence will extend to the Queen herself. Hail and well met. Please forgive the messy scene. The walls here do not yet surround the Globe Theater.
Yeah, we never did talk to these guys.
Oh, right. Do we have to?
No. Do you want to?
No.
Okay.
This announces Henry V. It's a history play, dramatizing the life
Sorry,
of
folks, if
English
you guys wanted to hear what all these historical figures had to say, then maybe you should have spoken up.
Henry V, a kingly choice. Young King Henry outgrows his rowdy youth and causes a riot in France.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling sea.
Your lines are quite amusing, Burbage. Now back to that wall.
I can't carry this load another step. My bad back is acting up.
Nobody with a bad back is running like that.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Once more into the breach. Our wall is nearly complete.
And of course, Romeo and Juliet.
Our Romeo and Juliet. A boy and a girl from rival families fall in love, making their parents furious. In-laws, what can you do?
What soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she.
Your fare is fair to middling, Burbage. Take a break and get back to work on that wall.
I have one thing to say here. What Lucius Ho? Or what luscious ho, depending on how you look at it.
I was gonna say there's something there that I'm missing.
I believe that line opens the second act of Julius Caesar. What Lucius Ho, with commas in between each word, so nobody's confused here. You're not talking about luscious hoes.
I can't lift
Feel free to look it up, but I'm
heavy, I
pretty
might tear
sure.
my tights. Besides, I must rehearse.
Yeah, look that up, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Huh?
Iambic pentameter, pentameter, whatever. Did I mention that college professor was obsessed?
Well done.
Yes.
Why, never did I see so fair a globe in all the world.
1,000 thanks, my dear friends. You've kept construction going during this riotous rehearsal. The Queen's performance shall soon begin, and I have a royal reward for you. Backstage passes. Follow me.
Hey, it looks like we're in the tire room where the costumes and props are stored. And the Queen's performance has begun.
Let's get our man and
Let's
sneak
see
out of
that
here.
note again. Yeah. When you hear the drama's call, make your entrance at the stage. As players work upon their wall, you'll snatch the greatest plays of the age. Once you have them, quick retire to that which set the globe on fire. I think we need the Chronopedia. Fun fact, no one was hurt in the fire that
The
destroyed the
cannon.
globe.
I knew it.
Good thinking, Detective. The Carmen note referred to the thing that burned down the globe, and that was the spark of the cannon. Medivh again. I'd
Say there's trouble brewing for this
the
bitch.
Medivh, you're coming with me. We'll keep you under our spell back at Acme headquarters.
A second seance in that Acme cell won't be a spiritual experience. But you'll never conjure up Carmen Sandiego.
Are you so sure?
Way to go! You tossed Medivh in the dungeon, helped Shakespeare with his scripts, and got the Globe together. All in time for a command performance. Shakespeare's works will survive through the generations right up to the Broadway stage, thanks
Never
to
mind the animation.
Nice work.
That's a nice head he's got there.
That performance deserves a promotion. Your new badge says, Time Inspector. And there's a crime up ahead that needs inspecting. Can you take the case?
Yes.
Sure can. 2 more to go for this episode.
Your next stop is North America 1776. A key American document should have been signed by now, but it's nowhere in sight. You'll be handling a political hot potato, Inspector. I'm sending Kale Tix along to give you good advice. She knows all the political angles and the lines and curves, too. Good luck, and give Ben Franklin my best.
What a blast to the past! We've arrived in the American colonies on the 4th of July, 1776. And that founding father is none other than Thomas Jefferson.
The misfortune. The Second Continental Congress is assembled and waiting for me. But my final draft of the Declaration has been stolen.
No need to get all wigged out, Mr. Jefferson. We'll help you make your declaration. Thomas Jefferson was known to fiddle around with a violin. In fact, he was quite good.
In England, men wear powdered wigs in Parliament, and in the colonies, we wear them in Congress. They can make debating a truly hair-raising experience.
Is this almost over?
Those are the plans for Monticello, my dream home. I dabble in architecture, you know.
We could just not click on everything.
You want to just speed run through the rest of this?
Books!
I love to read. My favorite recent pamphlet is Common Sense by Thomas Paine. It makes quite an argument for colonial independence.
So much for not clicking on things.
Greetings. Forgive my distraction. The declaration draft I was composing has been purloined, and the Congress is waiting on me.
Waiting on who?
I am Thomas Jefferson, a representative of the colony of Virginia. I've been working on an important document for the American colonies called a Declaration of Independence.
You're creating it?
Actually, the idea for a declaration was inspired by a 5-man committee, of which I am just a part. But they asked me to do the actual writing.
Why were you chosen?
I have a bit of a knack for writing, so Adams and Franklin asked me to write out the declaration. I've been working on it for 2 solid weeks.
2 weeks? Why? What is it all about?
The American colonies live under the rule of King George of England, but his unjust rule has overtaxed our patience. We have decided to declare our independence.
Why did the colony... Well, besides the fact that you just told us why. Why?
The king overtaxes the colonies and gives us no say in the matter. This is called taxation without representation, and it is most unjust.
So who's gonna sign it?
Delegates from all 13 American colonies have formed a Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia. They are waiting to sign the final declaration, but I haven't finished writing it yet.
So what's the problem?
A thief stole my first draft of the Declaration of Independence, and I don't have enough parchment for a rewrite.
So we can help how exactly?
Parchment is the key. If you can find me just a modest scrap, I'll be able to jot my thoughts down again and take them to the Continental Congress.
Where can we find parchment, though?
If only I knew. The British taxes and naval blockade have caused a serious shortage in items like glass, lead, and paper. You'll have to keep a sharp eye out for parchment.
Okay.
We're gonna have to take it to Philly.
Farewell. Please return
West
if you find
Philadelphia?
any parchment.
Born and raised.
Crap, forgot the rest of the
We
line.
thought you might be Jefferson. Where is that man? We need his declaration draft soon, or the colonies may never gain independence.
Easy? Oh, hey, New York.
That outline will be useful once Jefferson arrives with his final draft of the Declaration. Now, where is that man? He's late.
Date and declaration. Sometimes relations between two groups of people can get so bad that there's no choice but to split apart. Are we talking about a divorce? Everyone has certain rights that no government has a right to take away.
I mean, in a way, yes, we kind of are.
A list of complaints include how we've denied the right to a fair trial and the right to vote on laws and taxes. No matter how reasonable we've been, all cooperation has been refused, and we've only met with more unfair behavior. We have a right to be independent, and therefore we declare ourselves officially separated from England with no further political links.
Cool.
Okay.
Maybe he knows where we can find parchment.
Hello, fellow patriots. The Continental Congress is getting anxious. Jefferson has not yet arrived with the Declaration. Benjamin Franklin's my name. Inventor, statesman, and clever writer. Ever heard of Poor Richard's Almanac? That's my publication, full of clever proverbs.
What's a proverb?
A proverb is a witty little piece of homey advice. Here's one of my favorites. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Not bad, huh?
Not really.
Look, I tend to rise any time of day. What's your point?
Any other advice?
Well, here's something off the top of my head. The delegate who completes our declaration sublime will save the American colonies in the nick of time.
Subtle. Why is everybody standing around?
The delegates here are waiting for Jefferson to arrive with his draft. Then they need to make the hard decision to sign the declaration.
Step right up, boys and girls. Don't miss your chance to commit treason.
So, this is a big deal then?
Not everyone is convinced that separating from England is the best thing to do. John Adams has worked to convince everyone that independence is our best option. But independence does not come without risks.
And what are said risks?
If we lose our war for independence, everyone who put their signature on the Declaration of Independence will lose their heads. We're really sticking our necks out for this.
Well, we still don't know. New York.
Yeah. Oh, we can head all the way up to Boston.
Oh, you know what? Keep your eyes out for a Carmen note.
Oh, yeah. I guess click the statue.
Hey, keep back. We are protecting this lead statue of King George from angry colonists.
On July 9th, 1776, in just a few days, colonial troops will knock over the statue and melt it into musket balls for the war. King George obviously wasn't too popular.
G'day. Blimey, but all this garden has made tea time a distant memory. I can't remember the last time we had a go.
Sorry, are you unhappy about something?
Truth to tell, I'm a proud servant of my king. But I do feel for the colonists. They've been paying very steep taxes these days.
Why are you fighting them?
Well, it's my job, you know. Besides, many British think these American colonists are just brewing up trouble about their tea taxes.
And how exactly is this war going?
Well, the colonial Minutemen are scrappier fighters than we expected. My soldiers are better disciplined, of course, but those colonists really want their independence.
Dude, one of your soldiers is holding a mop. Not even a musket. He is holding a mop.
Hark there, don't rile my red-coated troops. If you need anything, I'm the bloke in charge. Hello again. I was just dreaming of a nice spot of tea.
What's that erection behind you?
Why, this is a lead statue of His Honoured Majesty King George III. My Marines and I have been assigned to protect his kingship from rebel scavengers.
Can we take a look?
But I want to touch the statue.
Well, ask him if we can touch it.
But I want to touch it.
You can look, but you can't touch. My job is to protect this statue. I can't have you making off with anything.
You mentioned tea?
Oh, for a cup of tea. When His Majesty taxed the tea, the colonists boycotted the stuff. They've declared coffee their new national drink.
So, tea. Yeah?
Tea is just impossible to find these days. The colonists have stopped drinking tea to protest the tea tax devised by King George.
So, tea?
It all started with that Boston Tea Party in 1773. Some tricksters boarded 3 of our merchant ships, dressed as Indians, and tossed every crate of tea into Boston Harbor. Outrageous!
No, not really.
Tea.
Tea. We can still head up to Boston, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, though, if the C note would be anywhere. Probably not.
On your way, then. And keep an eye out for tea.
That's not exactly where Boston is located, but okay. I guess talk to him.
Hey there. I'm just taking a minute to write a letter to Mother.
Any other supplies you showed on, or just the ammo?
Oh, yes. We depend on England for most of our supplies, and we'd be in a bad way without their imported goods.
So
what are you writing again?
I'm writing a letter to my dear mother on this piece of parchment. I'd rather be off fighting, but without musket balls, a letter is my only pastime.
Oh, will you give it to us, then?
Well, if I'm not fighting, I'm sitting here writing. But you know,
So you're thinking go back to...
Well, first let's click on the tea crates he's sitting on, though. Maybe.
This empty tea crate seemed like a good spot to sit down and write my mother. It's a leftover from the Boston Tea Party.
Oh, so there's no tea in it.
Sure seems
So
that way,
we
doesn't it?
basketballs. The redcoats won't leave without tea. So, where do we go?
A hot forge is perfect for melting metals, so they can be bent or poured into new shapes.
I guess backtrack to New York.
Many of the shops are idle from lack of supplies. The furnace of the smithy back there hasn't melted any metal in quite a while.
To Manhattan, New York.
I'm at a loss on this one.
Cheers.
Well,
Men and
I guess we
would
go
love a
talk
spot of
to
tea if you happen
Ben.
upon any.
Or Thomas Jefferson? Or,
Seems like a major catch-22, doesn't it?
yeah.
The flag symbolized the colonists' need for independence and self-rule. It could really inspire when confidence was flagging.
I can't even laugh at puns anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just that lost on this.
Okay, let's go back to Jefferson then?
Virginia.
Or Virginia, whatever. Anything? Click on the dumbwaiter.
The dumbwaiter delivers food from the downstairs kitchen right into Jefferson's den. Now that's swell service.
I guess talk to Jefferson again.
Welcome back. I still haven't rewritten the Declaration, and the Second Continental Congress grows impatient.
Okay.
My patience is about gone. Look this one up if you can.
I told you I don't have any. I've scoured sources. I have no idea.
I love to read. My favorite recent pamphlet is Common Sense by Thomas Paine. It makes quite an argument for colonial independence. Farewell. Please return if you find any parchment.
So...
Some delegates are British loyalists who don't want independence. But we'll convince them it's time we colonists stood up for our rights. Hello, fellow patriots. The Continental Congress is getting anxious. Jefferson has not yet arrived with the Declaration.
Talk to John Adams?
Has been a great help. He's convinced many delegates to sign the Declaration.
I guess talk to Polytech. She's gonna give a hint.
Hey,
I mean,
how's it going?
why can't we
Jefferson is parched for parchment. We need to scrounge some up for him. The Redcoats don't want colonists touching the King's lead statue. We'll need to get rid of those soldiers before we can make a search.
Oh, that outline will be useful once Jefferson arrives with his final draft of the Declaration. Now, where is that man? He's late.
we can't do anything with that though, unfortunately. New York. There has to be
There's
something.
we're missing.
Let's, I guess, go back to Boston and see what we can do.
Why?
I don't know.
On your way then, and keep an eye out for tea.
Unless we can take one of those tea crates.
That's what I was thinking.
Hey, you can't take my pole. But you can fish with it here if you want.
Hey, we got a boxfish. Actually, it looks like an old tea crate from the tea party. Cool.
Oh. Good thinking.
Okay. So we can go give that to the redcoats.
New York.
Note!
Well, that answers one question.
Splendacious. It's a piece of the Carmen note.
Once you have the declaration, quickly go and take your station.
Now.
On July 9th, 1776, in just a few days, colonial troops will knock over the statue and melt it into musket balls for the war. King
This thing's a
George
lead statue, isn't it?
too popular.
Yes.
There's a smithy in Boston.
Yep.
But now we finally figured this thing out.
Superific idea! Making ammo out of the lead statue. You're a high-caliber crime fighter.
Let's try it.
Damn it.
Yow! Thanks for the musket balls. Now I have my shot at joining the Continental Army. Long live the American colonies!
Now drop the parchment. Thank you. Now, back to Virginia.
Back to Manhattan, New York.
That's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Virgin. Ah, yay.
Parchment! You deserve volumes of praise. Now I can rewrite crucial parts of the Declaration of Independence. I've written out all the important points, but these paragraphs still need arranging. I'll hurry them over to the Pennsylvania courthouse, where the document can be completed. See you in the city of brotherly love.
Nope. Nope.
Superific! You found part of the Carmen note. The suspect schemes are going to pieces.
Now, why do I suspect that perhaps the third piece of the Carmen note is attached to part of that outline?
Maybe.
Splendation! Let's catch up with Jefferson in Philadelphia.
How good to see you again. You're just in time. Ben Franklin is just now posting my paragraphs up for review and arrangement.
Okay, here again.
My outline presents our ideas in an organized fashion. It should help us arrange Jefferson's paragraphs into a sensational declaration.
Yes, indeed. So just match up my paragraphs on the left with Franklin's outline on the right. Good luck.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by a repeated injury.
0.5.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bonds which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station.
0.6.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. No, that's 0.6. Okay.
Rights.
Okay.
Rights.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn that was the last part of it, but okay.
Dissolve the political bands. Officially separated.
Okay.
Yeah, that. Okay, so that is 3.
That is like one of the only pieces I know of the Declaration of Independence. As sad as that is the truth.
Well done. You've helped organize this.
Well, that took us a while. Is that my penance for almost half an hour of no video?
Now, let's get
Probably.
those delegates signing before they lose their nerve.
Superific! You reconstructed the Declaration of
Hey,
Independence.
I see it.
Now let's track down our thief. Yeah! That's the final fragment of Carmen's note.
Alright, Chibi. Go for
Once
it.
you have the declaration, quickly go and take your station. Get concealed all safe and nice inside a Jefferson device. He made to avoid disturbance from his noisy dinner servants? The dumbwaiter?
Yeah, he's hiding in the elevator.
Dumbwaiter.
Fabulous! I'll activate
Close
the
enough.
time house.
No, there's a difference.
It's an elevator.
Dumbwaiters.
It's an elevator
Dumbwaiters.
platform.
Dumbwaiters usually don't have people in them.
Yeah, well.
Hey, that's using your noodle. The dummy was waiting in the dumbwaiter. Fantabulous! It's a major accomplishment to catch General Mayhem.
That should be a good sign. Accordion to the chief.
Come Now, General, you can think about independence. Independence.
You can court
Oh
martial
God.
me, but you'll
Wow.
never put Carmen
That was,
That was
on
bad.
trial.
That was terrible.
Well done.
a game of
You
bad puns.
re-jailed General Mayhem, bartered your way from Virginia to Philly, and redrafted the Declaration of Independence. I salute you. Thanks to you, the 13 colonies are on their way to United Stateshood. But don't get too comfy. There's another crime dead ahead in time. Can I put you in charge of the case?
We did say 5. One more.
One more, and then we'll close it out for the night.
Yeah.
Next stop is the early 19th century. Lewis and Clark should have crossed the Rockies by now, but instead, they seem to be stopped in their tracks. Better see if you can get them moving again.
Alright, so we're not that far west.
Once again, you'll be exploring unknown territory, so I'll send Rock Solid as your good guide. Good luck, and watch out for rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes?
I love time travel.
Oh, you don't like snakes?
But I'm getting tired of resetting
I
my
mean, I
watch.
don't mind them, but...
Great outdoors. It looks like we're in North America where the Missouri River emerges from the Rocky Mountains. It's 1805, and we've run into the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Are you sure those journals aren't in the saddlebags? How could we let someone nab our notes like that?
I think we've hit our limit of voice actors.
I've told you I searched those saddlebags a dozen times. Blast the luck. We'll never cross the Rockies without those notes.
And none of my Shoshone kin are nearby to help us.
Say, it sounds like someone's pilfered the pockets of these pioneers.
So, I believe that's the same voice as the guy who dresses up like Doug.
Oh, yeah, I told you that.
Yeah.
Ivan, surfer dude. Yeah, he also did General Mayhem if you didn't
Yeah.
figure that one. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the guy who voices him is the same guy who voices Rock Solid.
Probably.
So who do we talk to first? We gotta know where to go here.
Lewis and Clark, I guess.
Ah, visitors. By chance, have you crossed paths with a journal-toting thief? Our life's work has been lifted.
May we ask your names, Lewis and Clark?
My name is Lieutenant William Clark, one of the leaders of this expedition.
And I'm Captain Meriwether Lewis, the other leader. We're in charge of the group you see here, called the Corps of Discovery.
The Corpse of Discovery? What's that?
The Corps was formed by President Jefferson to explore the land from the Mississippi River to the shores of the Pacific Ocean.
President Jefferson, as in the guy we were just with, huh?
Excuse me? I think you've been out here in the wilderness too long. Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, and now he's the president.
Oh, so it was the dude we were just with.
What are those medallions?
These peace and friendship medallions were given to us by President Jefferson himself. We hope to trade them with Indians in the mountains, but without our journals, we can't take another step.
Why not? Is there anything we can do?
Sure, you can find a route through the Rockies for us. And since you're willing to stick your necks out, take this medallion to trade with any Indians you meet.
Oh, cool.
Very
Why
nice.
are these so important, though, these journals of yours?
Those journals contain all our notes about the untamed lands west of St. Louis. The observations in those journals are invaluable because folks back east don't know much about the West yet.
Okay. Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
He went west through the mountains. Journals he snatched also contain advice from local
Yes, I
Indians
know.
on how to cross these mountains. Without them, we're between the Rockies and a hard place.
Oh. Could you try to cross without them?
We can't risk the Corps without those journals to guide us. Except for our guide and translator, Sacagawea, none of us have ever crossed such a great and dangerous mountain range.
Okay.
Guess we'll have to talk to the guide.
Greetings, strangers. You are welcome in our camp.
Well, thanks.
My name is Sacagawea of the Shoshone tribe. Lewis and Clark hired me as a translator and to help guide them through the mountain wilderness.
Any advice?
I grew up in these mountains with my people, so I know of many dangers. On the steep cliffs, you must skirt the surly bighorn sheep. Avoid the strong current of the river. Most of all, beware the hungry bear.
What do we have to do with the sheep? I mean, any new advice?
I have many memories of growing up in these beautiful mountains. I remember days spent weaving a tall basket. I also recall the sounds of my brother playing his drum.
Any other advice?
I later lived among the Mandan Indians on the plains. It was there I learned to make a sharp tomahawk. I also learned to make a sturdy moccasin.
Anything
else?
else?
You got?
When I first met Lewis and Clark, they had just completed a long day's travel. They were very tired, and I offered them a blanket. Right away, they were both fast asleep.
Okay.
Well, we didn't get very far there.
Those are peace and friendship medallions. They're gifts for the Indian chiefs we'll meet on our journey. In a pinch, they're great for trading, too.
President Jefferson gave us the medallions. He's eager to learn about the Indian tribes west of the Mississippi. Good luck. Don't get eaten by bears.
Downhill.
The
Yeah,
Great
let's talk to
Spirit
her.
shines on our second meeting.
So that's the first one.
Remember to avoid the surly bighorn sheep. Do not step in the fast-flowing river. And most of
that's
all,
river.
watch out for hungry bears.
Okay, now the childhood. We have to find out what the arm motion is.
I have many memories of growing up in these beautiful mountains. I remember days spent weaving a tall basket. I also recall the sounds of my brother playing his drum.
We need
Drum?
We need a drum.
Okay, where do we get a drum?
Lewis and Clark brought a large, diverse group of explorers with them. They carried light canoes over the mountains, but had to leave that big ship behind. I'm sure not going to carry it.
Talk to him, maybe? Or them? I don't know.
What's up? If I remember my history right, Sacagawea knows all about life in the Rocky Mountains. Maybe she can give us some advice. We need to find a safe route through the Rocky Mountains for Lewis and Clark.
So where can we get our hands on a drum?
Good luck. Don't get eaten by bears.
Note.
All right, Inspector. Who says clues don't grow on trees? That's part of the Carmen note.
So let's talk to her, I guess. So, yeah, the middle one. Okay. So that's the elbow. That's the holding the elbow one. So trade. Let's see if she'll trade for.
That Shoshone woman seems willing to trade. Let's tell her what we're looking for. Too bad. This Shoshone doesn't have what we asked for.
Oh. Okay. Gotta go back.
Okay, down the mountain we go. I guess that Shoshone doesn't have what we wanted to trade for, but maybe he has other things in his teepee. Let's keep at it. That Indian looks like he wants to trade, so let's tell him what we need. Way to wheel and deal. Maybe we can use our new item or trade it back.
On the tree.
Great idea. Just be sure you aim that tomahawk at the tree and not at your old friend Rock. Oh yeah. Timber! Good work, Inspector. And thanks to that Shoshone for showing us the way. Stay on your toes. Or at least stay on your feet. We don't want to fall in. Eureka. We've reached the top of the Rockies, and that path ahead leads on to the Columbia River. Great galloping grizzlies. Where'd that big bear come from?
Okay. Try to trade for that here?
This Indian has no treasures to trade, but he might still have some useful advice. It's all downhill from here.
Excuse me.
Way to wheel and deal. Maybe we can use our new item or trade it back. Stay on your toes, or at least stay on your feet. We don't want to fall in. I see what you're getting at. Okay, watch this. Way to go. With that bear gone, we can continue west to the Columbia River.
Off we go.
Westward ho, let's go. But first, let's head back east and round up the core of Discovery. We're back. We found a terrific route through the Rockies.
Was your journey difficult?
No, we just had to grin and bear it. Come on, let's load up the portable boats. It's smooth sailing from here.
think that's the first time we've been able to skip everything.
The Columbia River. Now Lewis and Clark can float by boat the rest of the way to the Pacific. Hey, that's the third and final piece. This letter will spell trouble for our thief, if we can figure it out.
Sure we can.
Steal the journals on my behest, then go where rivers all flow west. If you find your epic creek, play a game of hide and seek. Keep our vile plans afloat, concealed within a Nez purse boat.
I'll fire up the time cuffs.
Nez Pierce?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, there we go. Dugout canoes, rugged type.
Burning a log
burning a
and
log,
digging out
out.
charge center.
Must be that one.
The dugout canoe.
Say, that dugout canoe is the Nez Perce style boat mentioned in the Carmen note. Back to Acme Jail for you, Baron, and you won't get away a second time.
You've got me grounded. But you'll never get a beat on Carmen's high-flying plan.
Congratulations once again! You rebusted the Baron, learned to speak with your hands, and led Lewis and Clark to the Columbia River. Thanks to you, the wildest part of the western U.S. is well on its way to being tamed. Great going! But there's more lawlessness in the very near future, Time Inspector. And we'll move on to a new case right away.
And that's going to have to wait until the last episode of this series. So,
stay tuned until next time.
Yes. So until well, first I need to make a note about the whole TV is off thing. So I'll do that and put this up, and yeah, that's all that. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And Chibi, thank you.
Not a problem.
And have an alpha night. Until next time.